fragrances that smell like fresh laundry. So when I think of fresh laundry, the smell of it, I think of something that's a little bit cozy and a little bit fresh, you know? So I've done my best to compile a small list of fragrances that smell somewhat similar to that. And as always, pretty much everything I mentioned in this video will be available as Amazon affiliate links down in the description below. So I'm going to start with one that I pretty much always say in my videos that smells like clean laundry. This is Isio Musk Therapy. The thing about this is, despite the name, not your typical musk fragrance. It's not super animalistic, it's not super musky, it's actually just kind of a mild fragrance in general. It's pretty light. The thing about this is that the musk that it uses is very light and very smooth and actually kind of clean. In general, it's just, I always think of, something that's cottony, soft, a little bit warm, a little bit fresh. Kind of like when you get the laundry fresh out of the dryer, so it's still a little bit warm. That kind of has this effect, I would say, in terms of the musk that it has being a little bit warm, but not too crazy. It still has a certain cleanliness to it, certain freshness and coziness and things like that. This is definitely a really cozy fragrance. Now, it is kind of light, which is the main downside it has, but I would say the smell alone is kind of worth it. It kind of balances out the kind of less desirable longevity. And it's good as a bedtime scent, it's good as a casual daytime scent, pretty versatile, which is nice. It has a tiny bit of sweetness mixed with the muskiness. So again, pretty versatile option here. So I would say this is the closest representation to clean laundry, fresh linens, that sort of thing that I could possibly think of at the moment. Then moving on to something a little bit similar, I would say light blue, Eau Intense from Dolce & Gabbana. This is more of a citrusy and green apple sort of fragrance, but once those notes kind of calm down a little bit, I always say this is very, very much clean laundry-esque. When you put it on, you could just kind of imagine like a clothesline with billowing linens in the wind, in the sun, that sort of thing. So it's definitely very, very fresh, very light, cottony, that sort of thing. So it's also, because of all those things, it's a really good summer option. You can kind of imagine the Italian Riviera, seaside sort of thing. Its longevity is better than Musk Therapy, actually. I would say it's probably 5-ish hours, which is pretty good. You will have to reapply it, at least once throughout the day. But in general, it's just a really, really attractive, very feminine option, especially if you like more subtle sorts of fragrances with a little bit of natural sweetness from the citrus and the fruit and the green apple and things like that. It's very, very well balanced. It is super unintrusive and extremely likable. As soon as you put it on, you're probably going to get some compliments, because I've not come across a single person who dislikes this fragrance. Pretty much everyone really likes light blue. It's just kind of the fragrance for women. There's also a men's version, but pretty much whatever version of light blue you get is going to be somewhat similar, with those citrus notes and that kind of clean laundry sort of approach. Then, the one that I quite like is Juliet, from Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume. This is unique because it has one note called ambrox, which is a type of synthetic musk. So I would say it's kind of similar in the way it does things as with Isio Musk Therapy. It has that certain subtleness to it. The longevity is not its strong suit here. It's more the fact that it's this very nice, cozy, smooth softness. Kind of like you just put the bed sheets on the mattress. Just like fresh fabric sort of thing. Now, Not a Perfume. I've seen that it does smell kind of different from person to person. Some people it smells kind of a very pleasant light musk, very much like musk therapy. Others say maybe it's a little bit more like almonds or a little bit sweet, you know, that sort of thing. So I would recommend maybe getting a sample before you buy the full bottle, because the full bottle is kind of expensive. You know, so sample it, just test it out, see how it smells on you. But in general, I think it's a really nice option, especially as a bedtime scent, because it is just kind of a more intimate scent. You could also use it for the daytime, of course. Again, it's not super strong, but longevity is around maybe 4-ish hours, so you would have to reapply it. But it's still just a very attractive, very cozy sort of scent, and clean. Again, it's kind of musky, but clean at the same time. So you're getting the best of both worlds with this type of fragrance. Then, if you want something that's less of that light musk and more of a pure, maybe a little bit floral, but still very clean type of product, then I would say from Diptyque Fleur de Peau. So this is primarily a floral fragrance. It has a lot of different florals, but also some green notes thrown in there. It also has the very unique note of carrot, which is, I haven't seen carrot in any other fragrances so far. So this is, I always say this is a springtime fragrance. When you picture spring, you picture that grass, you know, the flowers blooming, the birds in the trees, that crisp air. This is pretty much all that in a bottle. So it does really well with capturing something that's extremely fresh and soft, slightly sweet, definitely feminine, you know, all that good stuff. And it's pretty strong for being a lighter fragrance as it is. I would say 5 to 6 hours. 6 is a little bit pushing it, but you could reach it to 6. And just in general, it's very nice. Again, it has that cottony, soft feel to it. A little bit colder, a little bit fresher, kind of like when you turn the pillow over and it's cold on that side. So a little bit more refreshing in terms of that. But definitely very feminine, classic, simple, slightly sweet sort of fragrance. Then the last one is, again, kind of similar to Fleur de Peau in terms of it's a little bit cold, but still very clean, very soft. This is Gentle Fluidity. So this is a little bit colder than Fleur de Peau. It has juniper berries in it, which are nice and fresh and crisp, and also some natural notes, some greenery, some wood notes, things like that. It's very nice. It is probably the most natural smelling fragrance out of all of these. You know, you could picture yourself in a forest or something. Nice natural scents. At the same time, it has a certain softness. It has a certain cleanliness to it. It's unisex, so it makes it, you know, extra versatile. Pretty strong. Stronger than some of these other ones. I would say 6-ish hours. So you have a little bit more of an advantage there. But yeah, this is probably the cleanest one on this list. But that is all I have to mention for fragrances that, you know, smell similar to clean laundry. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, of course, leave a like, comment, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.